Hi, welcome to Reddit Tea Time. This relationship story is about OP whose fiance changes for his coworker. Savor the tea! My fiance has changed his preferences to directly fit into a female coworkers of his. Am I paranoid? Please, if I'm being paranoid, be blunt about it. I do have a history of paranoia simply due to some stuff I've been through, and sometimes I can't tell if I'm acting out of line. I've been with Matt for 6 years. This all started like 6 months ago. He gets a new job after being unemployed for a while due to mental health and starts working with a 23-year-old named Chrissy. He talks about her just like he talks about all his other employees. No suspicious behavior in the beginning. But then stuff just changes quick. Like he's not a dog person at all and has expressed multiple times that he never wanted one. But all of a sudden, out of the blue, he needed a dog and was constantly looking up photos of dogs or watching TikToks of dogs, and lo and behold, we now have a dog. The connection there is that Chrissy brings her 3 dogs to work every day and only posts on social media about how much of a dog mom she is and how she can't trust anyone who doesn't like dogs or can't be with anyone who doesn't like or have doggos. Second thing, Matt doesn't drink often, and when he does, he's strictly a whiskey drinker. He hates anything pumpkin flavored and hates beer. He all of a sudden started bringing home Pumpkinhead beer every single weekend. This was shortly following Chrissy posting on Facebook about being upset because she ran out of Pumpkinhead beer and had to drink a different beer or whatever. I only know her posts because she added me on Facebook some months back. He has started working late. His buddy George is always there, which I know for a fact, but so is Chrissy. He's also talked to his other buddy about Chrissy on more than one occasion in my presence, and it's all become rather infuriating on my end because I'm tired of constantly hearing her name, and I'm tired of constantly piecing stuff together that directly connects his behavior to her way of living. So I questioned him about it. I asked why he was always talking about her, why he got a dog after meeting her and finding out she loves dogs to the highest degree, and why he all of a sudden started drinking her favorite beer and flavor when he absolutely hated it up until a month ago. He says I'm making something out of nothing and that he has no attraction to Chrissy and I'm being paranoid, but hasn't elaborated further. My friends think I'm being ridiculous because he's allowed to have female friends, which isn't what I'm arguing. I'm arguing the fact that he's twisted his life to go with her preferences since meeting her, which seems more than your normal friendly behavior. Oh girl, you are not paranoid, you are living in a Lifetime movie. Your man starts working with Chrissy and all of a sudden he's a dog person and he's sipping on pumpkin flavored beers. He's taking on her likes and dislikes like he's trying to win a contest or something. And now he's working late with her and talking about her to his buddies? Honey, that's not just a friendly behavior, that's a behavior of someone who's trying to impress someone else. I mean, he's not even trying to hide it. He's practically shouting it out loud by talking about her all the time. And don't let your friends gaslight you into thinking you're crazy. It's not about him having female friends, it's about him changing his preferences to fit hers. But before you go full-on Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale, talk to him and tell him how this behavior is making you feel. If he's really innocent, he'll understand and reassure you. But if he's not, then you have a decision to make. Don't let anyone make you feel crazy for trusting your gut. You got this. And now for some comments. You don't just go adopt a dog on a whim after proclaiming for years you don't like them. Another comment said, he lost interest in you because you say all of a sudden, and Chrissy says all of a sudden. But seriously, he's probably into her. As they say, imitation is a form of flattery. He might not be fully consciously aware of it, but his monkey brain definitely wants to bump uglies with her, even if his adult human brain hasn't quite caught up yet. Serious question. Is he a people pleaser in life in other ways? I find people pleasers are the ones who are also social chameleons. They alter things about themselves to best fit the mold for the people they most want approval from. If this is typical behavior from him, it might not be entirely sinister. It's not great, but it doesn't mean he's currently actively cheating on you. Another comment said, the evidence is slapping you in the face. He may not be cheating, but he wants to be. This relationship story is about OP, whose girlfriend's mother tried to embarrass him in church. Savor the tea. So I started dating my girlfriend 5 months ago. She's religious, no sex until marriage, and I'm atheist. I was raised in church, but as I got older, I established my own views. I just don't believe God is real. I know, very unlikely couple. I don't fully know how it came about either, but it works for us. Around our 3-month mark, she wanted me to meet her mother, but warned me that her mother is much more religious than her. The first time I met her, I actually went to church and we had Sunday dinner, and that's when I revealed to her family that I don't believe in God, and her mother became visibly upset, calling me a faker and saying how could I even go to church and be in her house if I'm not a God-fearing man, and even accused me of trying to taint her daughter. It was very tense, and I sensed then that her mom didn't like me. Now, my girlfriend and I had an agreement that I would go to church with her twice out of the month. I did it because, of course, I respected her beliefs, and I know how happy me being there with her made her, even if I did not care to hear what they were saying. A week ago, her mother invited me to church with them, and at their church, they have a segment where they welcome all the visitors and let them introduce themselves. Her mother took that opportunity to tell me to stand up and introduce myself and let the whole church know that I did not believe in God. I was very embarrassed and I didn't like being called out, but I stood my ground and said, I don't believe in God. I'm only here for my girlfriend. I know how much it means for me to be here and support her. The preacher said, rather it be God or love, I'm happy you're here and you're welcome anytime you like. Safe to say, her mother didn't like that, and when we got back to her home, she kicked me out and said it was very disrespectful for me to be there, and that I was a faker for dating her daughter and going to church, when honestly, I just enjoy being there for my girlfriend. There is no ill intent. It doesn't bother me when she prays. I've never once faked anything I've done for her. The wild part is her mother is the only person in her family who has an issue with me. My girlfriend supports and understands me the same way I do for her. She's the only girl I've ever dated that feels right for me because there are no crazy expectations. It's just nice and peaceful besides her mom. I know this is also hurting my girlfriend too. She cries and prays about it. Oh my goodness, what a mess. So your girlfriend's mother tried to embarrass you in front of her church, and when it backfired, she banned you from her house? And all because you don't believe in God? That's some crazy judgmental behavior right there. Look, you and your girlfriend have an agreement about attending church, and you've been respectful of her beliefs. You even went to church with her family and endured the discomfort of revealing your own beliefs in front of everyone. And what does her mother do? Try to make you look bad in front of the whole congregation. This is straight up rude and disrespectful. I don't blame you for feeling embarrassed and hurt by her mother's behavior. And to ban you from the house? That's just ridiculous. It sounds like her mother has some serious issues and is taking it out on you. But hey, at least your girlfriend seems to be on your side and understands where you're coming from. Keep doing what you're doing and being supportive of your girlfriend's beliefs, even if they're not your own. And if her mother can't accept you for who you are, then that's her loss. Don't let her judgmental attitude bring you down. This relationship story is about OP, who wants to tell her sister that her sister's toxic marriage is the reason why they don't hang out anymore. I'm having trouble being there for my sister, and I'm not sure how to tell her why. I'm about 2 years out of a 17-year marriage that ended extremely badly. We had issues throughout the relationship as well as a lot of fun, but the last couple of years he was intensely controlling, abusive, and violent. And since he left, I've done a lot of work to recover and get myself in a healthy headspace. My sister went through a rough patch around the same time my divorce started, and I learned way too much about her husband during that period to ever trust him again. They've been together for years, and while he's never been my family's favorite, he's an insufferable know-it-all, dominates every conversation, generally pretty annoying. We all just dealt with it because she loved him and we're adults. But since their rough patch, I haven't been able to be around him. During that time, he served her with divorce papers and told her he was going to take their less than 1-year-old baby away from her and never let my sister see her again. He convinced my sister she would lose in court anyway, to the point that her plan was to give up, sign all the paperwork he gave her, and leave their baby while she moved out of state with our other sister. This all sounds bad, but my sister is extremely naive and also has the worst anxiety I've ever seen. She was convinced she'd lose their baby no matter what, and she was so broken down she didn't have it in her to fight. Anyway, she told me this plan and I successfully talked her out of it, got her a great lawyer, and she was on her way towards accepting their divorce and rebuilding her life when he suddenly changed his mind and they reconciled and have been acting like everything is fine ever since. During her eventually abandoned divorce, my sister was terrified of being homeless and not having anywhere to go. I was starting over too, so our plan was that I'd buy a triplex and she and her baby could live in one of the units, me in one and our little brother in the third one. I went ahead with that plan and have just been renting out my sister's unit and let her know it's there if she needs it. I cannot be around my sister's husband at all. I've seen behind the scenes. I know he's abusing her emotionally, financially, and strongly suspect physically too, although she'd never admit it. I'm aware that the right thing to do here is support her decision and grin and bear his company, but I can't do it. I get that it's immature of me, but the situation is too like my own marriage, and I won't be within 100 feet of it. I especially don't want him in my new home, which for 2 years has been a happy, healthy, peaceful, safe zone. My sister basically won't leave the house without this man because of her anxiety and also his control issues, and they are literally always together. She posted on Instagram a few weeks ago about being sad and confused about why her family never spends time with her anymore. I'd like to gently explain the situation to her, but I'm not sure how to tactfully say, "It's not you, it's your awful abusive husband we can't stand." Looking for advice on how to softly tell her I'm here if she needs me, but that I'm unwilling to be around her husband. Well, it sounds like a tough one and you're in a real bind here. On the one hand, you want to be there for your sister, but on the other hand, you can't stand to be around her toxic husband. It's like, how do you tell her that her marriage is the reason why you don't hang out with her anymore? Well, let me tell you, it's not going to be easy. Your sister needs to know that you're there for her. Your sister is probably feeling very vulnerable right now, and the last thing she needs is for you to come at her with both barrels blazing. Just tell her that you love her and that you want to be there for her. Just be supportive. Let her know that you're there for her no matter what. Tell her that you'll always be her sister and that you'll always love her. And then just be there for her. Listen to her when she needs to talk. Offer to help her in any way you can and be a safe haven for her when she needs it. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. Just be honest, be gentle, and be supportive. And remember, you're doing this because you love your sister and you want what's best for her.
What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this story and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you spending your valuable time with me. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. Bye for now.